All right, 2-point perspective. We got some of our old buddies back here, our old pals. This is called the horizon line. Remember, that's where the sun sets. And then we're going to go ahead and put our vantage point in the middle so that we have tons of space to work on. That's where everything is getting sucked back to. Depending on where I'm standing in the situation, the vantage point changes. Okay, so the difference between 1 point, that was a lie. Look, I put a 1 point on there and I'm doing 2-point perspective. Perspective. Always whenever you write things out, all of a sudden you're like, is that spelled correctly? So the vantage points, this is weird in 2-point because we need 2 points that it's sucked back to. So this is whenever we see a rectangle from the front edge. What the? We are not starting with this 90-degree angle that we had, but instead we're starting with the corner. And then the 2 points, let's make it by the horizon, are going to be sucked back to there. What are you talking about? Let's see what this looks like. So I take this edge back to this point, back to this point, end it where I want. This is still the land. See, I want to tweak it straight up and down though. That still gets in. Remember, I'm not drawing it all the way back to the vanishing point because why? Why am I going to give myself more erasing to do? We know it sucks all the way back there. This line and this line are parallel. They don't intersect. See all 3 of those. How do I find the top though? Very different. 1 point, everything's sucking back. You get that to go back, but instead, each line corresponds. So these lines have to relate to this back edge. So in fact, I just take this corner and head back to that vantage point. But I'm not going to go all the way to make my life easier. And this point's going to head back to that point to intersect. Now I have the top. It's kind of cool, right? Okay, so that happens over here when I do another one. And if I do it, let's do it on the line. Actually, this is crazy. On the line. Stop drawing it all the way back to the vanishing point. Otherwise, it's just so much more erasing. Okay, and then this line, this line, this line are all parallel. Erasing my extras so I can see what's going on here. So I can't see the top or the bottom in 1 point and in 2-point perspective. That is the case. Okay, so what happens if we go up above? Going to be just the same as the one on the ground. But it's good to see it in action so we don't have to wonder. Right? And then I pick my sides. Parallel, parallel. Parallel. Clean up my space a little bit. There is a strong tendency, and look at this guy too. It's a little bit, there's a strong tendency to do this. I'm not sure why, but we just want to lean those edges out. But really be mindful, and if you're not sure, look at the edge of your paper and you can be like, oh, wait a minute. Sometimes you can really nerd out and like see how that much better that looks and measure them. That's crazy cool. Okay, so I'm taking this point back to this edge back to that point, but I'm not going to draw all the way, so I want to make my life easier. This point back to this horizon line. Boom, I've got the bottom. So we see the bottom. We see the top, and we're starting the box on the corner. That's the big difference. of 2-point perspective.